So not just to do it, oh, here's my time to do this, go through my list, boom, boom, boom. So you can't pray for everybody. Who do you choose? Have you ever gotten a situation where you find during your prayer time that you have lists, all these little pieces of paper or large pieces of paper with names of everybody and their mother, and you end up spending your whole prayer time just looking through lists, pray for this person, that person, that person, and it sort of starts to take over and even could get a bit stressful. The big problem with this is you can feel like you really have to. I really have to pray for all these people or I'm a bad Christian. And when you get into that place, then you're sort of getting out of the whole purpose. The whole purpose of prayer is connecting your heart with God's heart. Okay, that is the most important thing that will happen in prayer. How to integrate some intercession into your prayer life then without it becoming an obstacle. I would suggest that you make love your goal. That's what St. Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians, and it's a great little principle for us. Pray for people out of love, not out of obligation. Obligation is good and important because it'll keep us faithful, but you need to season it with love and more try to stir up love. You don't have to feel love. It's a decision. So choose love. You even just say it, Lord, I love these people. And then go ahead and say your thing. So make it relational, make it love-based. I would also say, practically speaking, that there are an infinite different ways to actually go about this. But one suggestion, and something that I find helpful, is to have a core list. So I have a core list for, say, Mass. So people who, when I have a free Mass or when I'm just including people in the Mass, there's people who are just really important in my life, or situations, world situations that I'm just always going to pray for, like my parents, siblings, really close friends, organizations like the church, government leaders, that sort of thing, who I'm really, I want to pray for this, vocations, all that sort of thing. So I have that one for Mass, and I actually also have one for my other prayers. I don't really look at them all that regularly. I just remind Jesus he can look at them and he knows them. If something pops out at me, if I remember one in particular, I'll maybe mention that in particular, but usually I'll just say, okay, Lord, I'm entering into prayer. Remember all of my intentions. And then I'll go ahead with the prayer bit, with the actual connecting with God part of the prayer. I would recommend this. It's really helpful, so you don't have to get lost and stuck in the minutiae. I also keep another list, and you can do this on your phone, or I use a piece of paper, and I keep it with me. So if someone asks me for prayers, I get an email, get a phone call, I'll just write people down and say, I'm adding you to my list. I am going to pray for you. And again, I don't always look at those. I just remind Jesus, Lord, everyone who has asked for prayers, who's on my lists, bless them, answer their prayers, Lord, bring healing, whatever it is that they were asking for. And then I go on with the prayer. Combined with this, I highly recommend leave space for the Holy Spirit. He's going to bring people to your mind. Someone really needs prayer and he knows it. So he'll start to touch hearts to get people to lift up specific, more intentional prayers for people. So if someone comes to your mind, someone from your list, or just someone pops in there, or if they keep coming to mind through the day, include them in your prayers, because it could very well be a little nudge from the Holy Spirit to pray specifically for somebody. I've had this happen so many times in my life. I have so many friends who this has happened for them. Someone came in their heart really, really strongly, and then they found out that that person was really sick that day, or had a huge exam, or something else major was happening in their life. So pay attention to that and do include them. But again, briefly, doesn't have to dominate the whole prayer time. Some people, intercession is their thing. That's the primary way they connect and feel connected with God. If that's you, then you go ahead and you spend your whole time praying that way. But for most of us, it's part of prayer. It's super important. It is an obligation under justice and under love for us, but it shouldn't become an obstacle. I hope that's helpful. God bless you. And if you are praying, do say one for me. God bless. That was pure rubbish, Columba. Let's try that one again.